We are Couch Muscles Incorporated, and today we're going to talk about something that's really stupid and really smart.
Yes.
Anthony, today we are going to talk about Jake Paul and Tana Mongeau getting wed.
Yes.
Or scamming.
Interesting. So, another word you could use is fraud, probably.
Fraud.
Maybe not legally, but sure. False
Or dirty poopy liars.
Absolutely. You know what? I think you put that in the best words I've heard of them so far.
I believe those are the legal terms for it.
I should point out right off the bat before we get into this, I am not in the Low gang. I don't like either of those people, that being Logan and Jake Paul. I just don't care. The KSI fight with Logan Paul, funniest day of my life. But that being said, here's our opinions on this specific thing. Jake Paul is a fucking liar.
Should we lay the groundwork first?
Let's lay it down. Let's lay it down like some fat beats in a rap concert, bro.
Okay, so what is the groundwork? What's the story so far?
So, what's this girl's name? Tana Mongeau?
Tana Mongeau. Do you remember
Tana
Mongeau?
Mongeau. I do remember TanaCon.
That bitch.
Yes, the girl that made a Comic-Con for YouTubers like VidCon, only nothing was there, and it was a
disaster.
They just made people stand outside for 17 hours in the heat while nothing happened, and they all paid like $200. So
that
girl is getting married, or got married, air quotes, to Jake Paul. They had a wedding that they live streamed that you would have to pay $50 to see.
To watch.
The live stream
was pitched as an intimate moment in history.
That you get to be a part of his family and watch his wedding. It's a historic moment on YouTube. There was no audio in the live stream, and it was shot with very poor quality cameras from what it seems to be. And right at the moment when the man who marries them says, "You may now kiss the bride,"
who is an employee of Jake Paul.
An employee of Jake Paul, probably not even certified to marry people.
He probably is.
He
may not have been. That could have been the twist. Bro.
Yeah, that could have been the twist. I thought it was T-Pain for a second when I saw him.
He was white.
Exactly. That's how confused I was. So, right at the moment when they kiss, immediately after, somebody gets in like Jake Paul's face and they fight. Literally
Jake
the
Paul
exact time.
And then
Jake Paul pushes him.
The guy that married him attacks him.
Yeah. If it was a real life situation, it would just be the world's biggest disaster, but there's no way that happened.
This is all for money.
It's all for money.
The second that it was that they charged $50 for their wedding, that it was for money.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe they don't care if they get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they each signed a paper, and it's like, yo, Tana, this is exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. Everybody is like, no, this isn't what's happening. Or like Jake Paul and Tana say that. They said something like, we don't care if you think it's not real. It's real. Mm-hmm. And my reaction is, I don't care if you don't think it's not real. It's not real.
It isn't.
And that was confusing, but you not caring makes me not care either. I'm just making this video for money myself, bro.
Yeah. There's a thing in YouTube culture where it's just like, it is okay to lie if you're going to make money or if you want to get views. So it's like all those like pranking YouTube channels, all those pranks were mostly fake. The social experiment thing that happened like years ago, that like you don't really see a whole lot of that anymore. Even if you look at like the Logan Paul KSI fight, there's a good chance that was probably rigged, considering they tied.
Yeah,
and then they were to promote another fight, and they could all just make so much more money. It's part of the culture where it's like you don't have to be genuine, and you could get as many views as possible, and nobody cares more.
There was
like
recently
no or less.
An incident on Instagram where like an underage girl and her boyfriend claimed that she was pregnant and was like faking her pregnancy for views.
Wow.
And then you have the whole like Sam and Nia thing. Mm-hmm. If you remember years ago, where people thought that they faked their pregnancy for views. YouTube is the Wild West, bro.
Yeah, it is just a landscape of dishonesty in order to get clicks. It's like writing a false article about politics or something just to grab attention. You just lie and make the most extreme situations that you can in order to get more people to view you. And obviously, the Pauls aren't above that. Like, they're going to feed into that. And Tana Mongeau is apparently going to have her own TV show coming up too, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like this is probably just another way to get more attention on her. That way, that TV show does better. It's really cynical, but it's just the landscape.
And you know what? This is gonna sound weird, but you know I'm okay with it. I don't care. Make your money. Take your bag.
It's been going on forever. There are entire YouTube channels that were built on that. Like if you look at like those freak out YouTube channels, like the Angry Grandpa YouTube channel and like the McJuggernuggets YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They're literally skits, but they make them look like real life, where somebody gets really mad at somebody else and then somebody starts screaming and crying, and it's like those videos get millions of views. So it's just nothing more than a way to generate revenue by lying to their loyal fan bases.
And I'm like, so what? I don't care.
It's those people's choice to watch that content. You know, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want.
I feel so bad, legitimately, though, for the people that spent $50. They should get a refund. For
Absolutely.
real.
That's just terrible.
But I don't think that was the intention of Jake Paul. I think that they probably intended to have like really good cameras present.
Yeah, and audio.
And audio present. So I don't know, but
yeah.
I figure they should probably get their money back. But like, how bored are you that you spend $50 to watch a wedding, for real?
Yeah, not just a wedding, Jake Paul's wedding.
What percentage of those kids do you think straight up stole their parents' credit card?
Oh, I'm sure a ton of people.
For real.
Those YouTubers have like such a weird loyal fan base of like actual just little children that are just willing to do anything. And like children are fucking crazy like that. I have a little cousin who literally charged on his parents' card like over $2,000 on like online video game purchases, and they didn't discover it until, seriously.
Yo, just like characters, like unlocking characters,
like
in
just
video game?
I don't know because I don't have his Xbox or whatever, but like just stuff like that, like in-game purchases, spent like $2,000. Needless to say, he got that Xbox taken away from him really quick after that.
Yeah,
but just children do that shit.
Yeah, recently I was like, how do I make this sound not weird? I almost just said I was hanging out with a group of little kids. Okay, my girlfriend's nephews were in town.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with them. Mm-hmm. And like, it's hard for them to like have a conversation, dude.
Yeah.
Because they're like, all they want to do is play their little phone thing.
Yeah.
And it is hard for them to like talk. They're like terrified to do it.
And
those are the kids spending money on this.
Yeah, and it's also a weird thing today. It's you could see children that do nothing but like play video games and stuff like Minecraft and Fortnite. They literally grow up in an environment where they have no social experience, to the point where it's even noticeable in their speech patterns, because it's like they literally just develop lisps.
What's the recommended amount of dedicated RAM I should have to the server?
I'm sorry, could you please repeat your question?
Dedicated RAM.
And I know that's part of the deal. It's not like they have like mental disabilities and play video games and then they're like they just grow up to be whoever they would have been regardless of the video games in their life. You could tell like people that are socially isolated from birth and like just have devices plugged into them they don't develop correctly. Not that that's the topic of this video, but it is like an interesting thing about how people like Jake Paul and Logan Paul thrive, manipulating that audience because they're loyal, they don't worry about money and stuff like that, and they could just spend and spend. I'm sure that those two probably have like a stupid Patreon page for no reason. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
They might, right? That's not above them. Like, support us on Patreon.
I don't think they would have a Patreon. All I know is that like their merchandise is cheap apparently, and it's just very lazy.
Yeah,
especially Jake Paul's. It appears as if I don't know much about either of their. Like, I've never bought a T-shirt.
Is that his the one that he announced at the fight, the Rise of the Original or whatever it is?
It is like art that he stole from the internet.
Oh,
and that's why it's like font that is very easily mass produced and recreated.
Does it have those watermarks on all of his shirts that say like getting images and stuff?
That'd be fun. Anyway, guys, so that's our thoughts on the whole thing. In small conclusion, I don't care. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
If you want to spend money on that and it's money you earned, you go for it.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Well, that about covers it then, and we bid thee adieu.
Adieu.